Hello, welcome to Svtv News. I am Samira Ibrahim with today's bulletin, but first the major headlines. Hundreds of schoolboys abducted in Katsina released. ASU and federal government meet in Abuja on the persistent strike action. Nabena should name the errand governor or be invited by the security. On business, Senate confirms hyperdeck nominees. On sport, Lewandowski beats Ronaldo Messi to win FIFA Best Player Award. And on the international scene, Trump disappointed with the Supreme Court. Now the news in details. Katsina state government has announced the release of hundreds of its students abducted from a school in Kankara local government area of the state. The state governor Aminu Masari confirmed the release of the students on Thursday, a week after they were kidnapped by government. Mr. Suleiman Tsiga, who is the information officer of Kankara local government area, disclosed that the state governor Aminu Masari has directed that the children be moved to Kankara Secretariat. For more details on the story, over now to our correspondent, Musa Joy.
Although the government did not give a specific figure of students released by their captors, over 300 of them unaccounted for before the news of their freedom broke.
Hukumomin soja da kuma jami'anmu da suke hudda da wa'anda suka shiga tsakaninmu da 'yan ta'addan nan sun ce an samu sakin dukkan yaran da ke hannunsu, kusan yara 344. Yanzu haka muna can an tura motoci za su ɗauko su kawo su cikin Katsina, inda kuma za mu sa likitoci su duba su.
Shortly after their release was reported, President Muhammadu Buhari described the safe return of the schoolboys as a big relief to their families, the entire country, and to the international community.
We spoke with the governor. I congratulated him and I congratulated the army that organized the the operation, encirclement of the people, of the abductors, and getting the children. The military is well trained. I think they are sufficiently motivated. The governor, I'm very impressed with the governor. He has been, up and doing since it happened, and I congratulated him that the children have been successfully recovered. Well, we are doing our best. Remember when we closed the borders, we found out that still somehow the terrorists or the abductors still get weapons and ammunition. They still take people hostages. They are collecting millions of naira. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and some of the things we may not say. I don't want to compromise the security and the efforts being put by the law enforcement agencies. But really, we are acutely aware of our responsibilities. Our responsibility is to secure the country.
He commended what he called the spirit of partnership and the collaborative effort of the government of Katsina, Zamfara military, which led to the release of the students. Meanwhile, Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle congratulated his Katsina State counterpart Aminu Bello Masari, parents of the abducted children, and the entire people of Katsina State for the safe return of the children. Musa Joy Onyoda, Svtv News, Gusau.
The Emir of Kauran Namoda, Major Sanusi Muhammad Asha, retired, has lost 8 members of his convoy when gunmen ambushed them along Zaria-Funtua Highway on his way back to Gusau from Abuja. The incident, according to an eyewitness who escaped during the attack but begged for anonymity, said the Emir's convoy was ambushed by the suspected gunmen. According to him, 8 occupants of the Toyota Hilux, including the driver, were all shot dead by the gunmen. However, the Emir escaped unhurt, according to the eyewitness. Among those killed in the attack, according to the source, were Dan Amal of Kaura, who doubled as the father of the Emir, Shimfid and Kaura, Sarkin Dogarai, 1 Facebooker, and 3 policemen. The source further revealed that the Emir passed the night at the Funtua police station in Katsina State.
It's very unfortunate. He has joined the league of those victims of attack by bandits insurgents in the nation. You remember about last year also, the Emir of Fortiskum was attacked. We have series of emirs that have been attacked and traditional rulers over the nation. So it's a tragedy for the nation.
The recently recruited and trained community police constables were on Friday given formal induction course at the Government House, Gusau. The induction course, which focused on the conduct of community policing, was attended by representatives of the Inspector General of Police, the Executive Governor of Zamfara State, and traditional rulers. This is part of the Zamfara State government effort to tackle this perennial problem of insecurity in the state. Our Government House correspondent Peter Phillips reports.
The occasion, which was at the instance of the state governor, Bello Muhammad Matawalle, and the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, which was geared towards orienting the community policing recruits to understand the do's and don'ts of the operation. The sensitization program, which was presented by retired DIG Salihu Hashimu, the chairman of the Community Policing Sensitization Campaign, who spoke about the importance of community policing and also its historical background.
Police Act CAFI 19-2004 stand as the most authentic reference to what police ought to be. Section 2 of the Act defines the term police officer means any member of the force within the Nigerian police. That is the definition of the Police Act. In short, the police officers, they are called peace officers. Community policing, believe me, I'm not saying here because I'm in Zamfara here. Zamfara is the best. I'm telling you. They train their men in Sokoto, they send money for their feeding, money for medicine, and for clothes and everything. And like I went for that state, I saw, I helped it. And even the number of people you invite here, people of ethnic, different, but they are here to see and work together. So please, my myself, congratulate the whole Zamfara and His Excellency. He has done a very nice job. And in record, he's the one, I'm telling you.
Speaking through his SSG, the governor expressed his appreciation for the program and the quality of the presentation. He also called on the recruited police to ensure they do their work diligently and passionately.
It is on behalf of His Excellency, the Executive Governor, that I would like to present his appreciation to all that have been here and to appreciate on his behalf the quality of presentation, high quality of presentation, which DIG Salihu Hashim Argungu has presented today. He has informed us on something that most of us do not know about community policing. He has told us that this idea of community policing is not a new thing, that we're only going back to history.
Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has given a certificate of return to the elected member of the State House of Assembly representing Bakura constituency, Alhaji Ibrahim Tukur. The ceremony took place at the INEC headquarters, Gusau, and was witnessed by a number of dignitaries. Peter Phillips reporting for SVTV News, Gusau.
Governor Bello Muhammad Matawali of Zamfara State has received the sad news of the death of mother of Shehu Umar of the Media Trust and member of the correspondent chapel of the State Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, Hajiya Zainab Umar Yari. The governor wished to sympathize with her immediate family members, particularly Shehu Umar, who has been up and doing in the discharge of his journalistic responsibilities in the state. Governor Matawali, who was devastated by the sad development, said, "The loss of a mother is very painful, but one has to take heart and thank Almighty for the life well spent in accordance to the Islamic teachings." He described late Hajiya Zainab Umar Yari as God-fearing and a disciplinarian who devoted most of her life in worshipping Allah. The Shatiman Sokoto praised Allah to grant the deceased Jannatul Firdaus and the family the fortitude to bear the loss. Zamfara State Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning has organized a town hall meeting in Kauran Namoda town, the headquarters of the Zamfara North Senatorial Zone. Addressing the participants, the Director of Budget of the Ministry, Alhaji Hamza Badarawa, said the purpose of the meeting was to let the people know the projects to be executed in their localities. He said that the meeting will also enable the participants to suggest if they have any other projects of their choice so that the budget could be amended. For more details on the story, Rahma Ibrahim Dusara reports.
According to the Director of Budget, the opinion of the participants will be forwarded to the State House of Assembly for amendment. Alhaji Hamza said the town hall meeting was the first of its kind in the state, adding that the ministry would write a report to the State House of Assembly if there is any change. Also speaking, member of the State House of Assembly, Honorable Salisu Zurmi, spoke extensively on federation accounts, where money is shared between three tiers of the government. He urged the participants to critically study the 2021 budget presented by the administration of Governor Bello Matawali and see if there was anything they wanted which was not in the budget. In his contribution, Honorable Zahardin Muhammad Sada, who is the Chief Whip to the State House of Assembly, commended the state government for organizing the meeting, which he said was the first of its kind. Rahma Ibrahim Dusara reporting for SVTV News, Gusau.
Special prayers and dua were conducted at the Gabaken Mesa for peace and tranquility to prevail in Zamfara State and the country as a whole. The event followed the conclusion of some events lined up for the celebration of Maulud al-Nabi, which took place in the area. The occasion featured under the leadership of Chief Imam of Gabaken Mesa. Other scholars that attended the occasion and offered dua were some Khalifas in Kauran Namoda, Khalifa Surumbai Aliyu Mai Kanti Gusau, Malam Abba na Malam Babba Kaura, and other scholars from Godal, Mbuki, and Zurmi local government area of the state. Zamfara State First Lady Hajiya Aisha Bello Muhammad Matawallan Marajan has flagged up the distribution of farming equipment to rural farmers in the state. Over 699 farming starter equipment are being distributed to rural farmers in the state. The exercise comprises of distribution of different varieties and equipment to farmers provided by IFAD in collaboration with Zamfara State Government to enhance economic growth and stability in the state. The Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, and the federal government on Thursday met again in Abuja to continue talks over the strike embarked upon by the academics. The ASU strike has paralyzed the government universities since March. The academics are seeking a revamp of their salary structure and increased funding for universities, among other demands. At Thursday's meeting, the federal government was represented by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngege, and the Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, NUC, Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid. In his opening remarks at the meeting, the minister said he expects to hear ASU's feedback on the offers the government made in their last meeting. However, ASU's president, Professor Biodu Ogunyemi, said his union hopes to get more offers from the government to take back to its members. 2 previous meetings scheduled earlier had been postponed as the striking lecturers said they were still consulted. President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday participated in the 36th Federal Executive Council meeting (FEC) from his country home in Daura, Katsina State via video conferencing, contributing to major decisions on procurement of COVID-19 vaccines, drugs for HIV/AIDS and equipment for cancer treatment. In the historic meeting, presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo in Abuja, President Buhari said close attention following discussions on a mix of 33 memoranda dealing with policies, contracts and reports, and where he felt the need, he also asked for recognition and intervened. The meeting took some critical decisions, which include approvals for procurement of essential drugs for HIV/AIDS treatment, equipment for cancer treatment for University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, first in northeastern states. Approvals were also given for a contract to construct an 11-story building to serve as headquarters of Department of Petroleum Resources (DPR) in Abuja, COVID-19 vaccine and peace reopening of borders. The Inspector General of Police Muhammad Adamu has approved the promotion of 4,134 traffic warden officers to their next ranks. Mr. Frank Omba, the first public relations officer, disclosed this in a statement on Thursday in Abuja. The promotion included 65 officers who were elevated to the rank of a Deputy Superintendent of Traffic, 245 officers to Assistant Superintendent of Traffic 2, 138 officers elevated to Senior Traffic Warden, as well as 3,683 personnel promoted to Grade 1 and 3 personnel from Grade 3 to Grade 2. IGP Adamu noted that the promotion of the officers was part of the ongoing effort by the police to ensure that deserving personnel were promoted accordingly to encourage hard work and further strengthen the culture of merit, excellence, and dedication to duties. He commended the officers for their resilience and invaluable commitment to traffic control duties as greatly recognized by the members of the public. Sokoto State Governor Alhaji Aminu Waziri Tambuwal has suggested that the APC acting National Publicity Secretary Mr. Ekini Nebena should be invited by the security to name the Northwest Governor behind banditry killings. In a statement widely circulated in the media, conventional and social, Mr. Nebena challenged security agencies to investigate an intelligence report linking an unnamed governor to the increasing wave of banditry, abductions, and other violent crimes in the zone. Beyond politics, no governor anywhere in the country assumed office without swearing to an oath, as prescribed by the Constitution, to protect the lives and property of the citizenry in his area of jurisdiction. For more details on this story, over now to our correspondent, Hawa Muhammad.
Governor Waziri Tambuwal explained that to allude and allege that a governor is consciously undermining the oath of office he took is a skewed logic intended to uphold the rule and law and the jurisdictional dictates of equity and good conscience. For this reason, the onus of proof of his allegation rests on Mr. Nebena. He should name the governor he is alluding to as the sponsor of banditry and sundry crimes in the Northwest and provide evidence that the governor is involved in all of that which he alleged. Otherwise, the security agencies in the country should invite Mr. Nebena to provide evidence of his allegation, assist them in investigating the matter, and make sure that justice is done. He therefore advised that all well-meaning Nigerians and political stakeholders should consider human lives first instead of playing to the gallery. The framers of the Constitution know why they bestowed much power, although significantly flawed, in the President to checkmate issues such as those raised by Mr. Nebena. Meanwhile, Governor Tambuwal has announced that he has gone into isolation following his recent close contact with some personalities, some of which have tested positive to COVID-19. He therefore said he has withdrawn from official and physical engagements for the period prescribed by the COVID-19 protocols, with effect from Friday, December 18, 2020. The Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, Honorable Manir Muhammad Daniya, Wakil in Sokoto, will carry on all official functions as laid down in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Governor Tambuwal said during the period, he would subject himself to the prescribed testing procedure as required by the Sokoto State Task Force on COVID-19, the National Center for Disease Control, and the World Health Organization protocols. Hawa Muhammad reporting for SVTV News.
A mild drama played out on Thursday as a faction of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Kano State, led by former Minister of Foreign Affairs Aminu Wali, expelled former Kano Governor Senator Rabi'u Musa Kwankwaso from the party for alleged anti-party activities. The group also accused the former Defense Minister and 2019 PDP presidential aspirant Kwankwaso of gross violation of constitutional orders of the PDP. The Wali faction announced the expulsion of Kwankwaso, leader of the Konkwasiya movement, shortly after a Congress brought into place a new leadership of the faction. For a long time, the Wali faction and Konkwasiya movement had been in leadership tussle for the soul of the PDP in Kano. The court recently held that the caretaker committee put in place by the Kwankwaso faction was the legitimate leadership of the PDP. The ruling prompted the Konkwasiya group to elect party officials on Monday. The police authorities in Katsina State have rescued no fewer than 29 persons said to be victims of human trafficking in the state. In a statement issued on Wednesday by the police public relations officer in the state, Gambo Isa, the victims comprised 22 females, 5 males and 2 children. According to the police spokesman, the victims were on transit from the southern part of Nigeria to Libya, Algeria and Turkey, respectively. They were said to have been intercepted at Ungwar Jummai village in Mai Aduwa local government area of Katsina State, a border town with Niger Republic. While noting that the State Police Command has commenced an investigation into the incident with a view to arresting the trackers, Isa also confirmed the arrest of one Abdullahi Ibrahim. The police authorities alleged that the 35-year-old Ibrahim, a native of Malabo village, Savannah local government area of the state, is a notorious bandit terrorizing Savannah and Batsari areas of Katsina. The Senate passed a bill extending the implementation of capital component of the 2020 Appropriation Act on March next year. Sponsored by Senate leader Yahya Abdullahi, the movie was in fulfillment of an earlier request by President Muhammadu Buhari. The passage has thus effectively distorted the January to December life cycle of the financial document, which the current National Assembly once celebrated as a major achievement. The upper legislative chamber suspended Order 44 of its standing rule for the piece of legislation to pass first, second and third readings. President Buhari had on Tuesday written to the lawmakers demanding a fresh review of the budget. Dissecting the letter, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Hajiya Zainab Ahmad, at the meeting with the leadership of the National Assembly, said the extension was to enable the federal government to execute the captured capital projects that were frustrated by the lockdowns caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Let me quickly take you to our business desk for the business update.
Welcome to Business Desk. The Senate on Thursday confirmed 8 nominees to the Governing Council of the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPADEC. The nominees were confirmed by the upper chamber after consideration of a report of its Committee on Power. Those confirmed include Mr. Joseph Tafra from Benue State as chairman, Malam Abubakar Sadiq Ahmed Yalwa from Kebbi State as managing director, Alhaji Isa Uzi Salami from Kogi State member, Engineer Tohid Daud Toyi from Kwara State as member, Alhaji Mukail Al-Amin from Niger State as member, Dr. Saleh Mohammed Kaladema from Plateau State as member, Engineer Aminu Mohammed Ganda from Sokoto State, and Chief Utom Etang from Cross River State. In his presentation, the chairman of the committee, Gabriel Suswan, PDP Benue North East, recalled that the nominations were made by President Muhammadu Buhari pursuant to Section 3, Subsection 1 of the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, established Act 2018 as amended. Meanwhile, the federal government has ordered all network providers to cancel the 20 naira charge for the retrieval of the national identification number with immediate effect. Nigeria's Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Dr. Isa Fantami, gave the order in a statement issued on Friday. And that's all on Standard Voice Business Update. Back to the newsroom.
Thank you, Musa Joy. On sports, over to Abu Sufyan.
Hello, welcome to Standard Voice Television Sports Room. I'm Abu Sufyan Abakar, and as usual, I bring the sports updates. Bayern Munich forward Robert Lewandowski has won the award for the best FIFA Men's Player of the Year. The Polish national team captain was named ahead of Barcelona and Juventus stars Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo to win the coveted prize. He emerged the winner of the prize after he helped Bayern Munich to win the treble last season, namely the Bundesliga, the German DFB Pokal and the UEFA Champions League trophies. Lewandowski, who finished as the top goal scorer in all the 3 competitions last season, scored his 250th goal in the Bundesliga to help Bayern Munich seal an important win over Wolfsburg in a match that ended 2-1 on Wednesday night. Bayern Munich chairman Karl-Heinz Rummenigge added that Lewandowski deserved the award more than all the other players in the category and that he had played the season of his life. Also in the same night, Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool's head coach, was awarded as the best men coach for the year, beating treble-winning coach Hansi Flick of Bayern Munich and Marcelo Bielsa, who helped Leeds United gain promotion to the top flight of English football after finishing first in the championship. Also, Tottenham Hotspur's Son Heung-min saw his solo goal against Burnley last season awarded as the Puskás Goal of the Year, beating close competitions from Luis Suarez and the Araquesta, all of Uruguayan descent. And that's all we have on sports today. Back to the newsroom.
And on the international scene, US President Donald Trump has expressed disappointment in the country's Supreme Court after the Apex Court rejected a Republican lawsuit that sought to overturn the victory of Democrat Joe Biden in the last month's presidential election. The Republican incumbent tweeted on Friday that he was disappointed in the United States Supreme Court and the country. But the president-elect said Trump has had full opportunity to contest the result in court, and in every case no cause or evidence was found to reverse or question or dispute. Mr. Biden, whose victory was formally confirmed by the Electoral College this week, also lashed out to the Republican Party for standing behind Trump's evidence-free claims of mass fraud. But he said the Supreme Court last week sent a clear signal. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Hundreds of schoolboys abducted in Katsina State were released. ASU and the federal government meet in Abuja on the persistent strike action. Governor Tambol also said Nabena should name the errand governors or be invited by the security. On business, Senate confirms Hyperdeck nominees. On sport, Lewandowski beats Ronaldo Messi to win FIFA Best Player Award. And on the international scene, Trump disappointed with the Supreme Court's judgment. That's the news. On behalf of the production crew, Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Ibrahim Garbatano, I am Samira Ibrahim, wishing you a pleasant day. Keep watching Standard Voice Television News. Goodbye.